Okay, good morning. Good morning. How are you? Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for the invite and for the time. I think it's going to be a wonderful time. I've heard the presentation so far, and I'm actually challenged by the presentations and by everyone who has so far spoken. The first presenter said they were not a lecturer, so they were not very much going to speak much. But now, unfortunately, I'm a lecturer, so I might need more than 2 hours for me to articulate what I have for today. But anyway, what I want to talk about mainly is the issue about targeting and reaching out the right audience online. That's basically what I wanted to discuss. But before I look at that, one key thing that I've realized is generally most people struggle with numbers, with math, and with numbers generally. I think one of the subjects that people struggle with, at whether it's O level, at A level, and in college, is mathematical programs. That's basically what I've noticed. But what I've realized also is the good thing that we're having in this age and in the age of digital that we are in, we are seeing so much changes that are happening. There are so many programs that are being introduced. There are so many other things that are also happening which are making it easier for you to learn and to understand, or for some programs to do some of those things that are difficult for you, that they can be done by programs and by systems. I think one of the things that you'll notice is when it comes to analytics for marketers, one of the key issues that you realize is that tools which are already giving you the results. You don't have to understand the deep statistics, you don't have to understand the gathering of the information and everything. You simply have to know which tools to get and what you need to do with those numbers that you then be getting. So that's basically what is getting important. Now, the first thing that I want to maybe discuss about is the issue of analysis and analytics. I think analytics is a word that we're now using every day. Every day you hear people talking of analytics, data science, and like. But what is this new thing? Because it's a new word. What we've always known is analysis, but not analytics. So what is analytics, and how is it different from analysis that we've already known about and that we've always been doing? Now, the main difference, the issue is analysis is part of analytics. Analysis is part of analytics. But what is the difference is that analytics looks into the future as well as into the past, right? So that's what we are getting in the current generation, in the current period, where you now are able to analyze into the future. You are now able to predict. I think I always, when I'm having some of my courses, I always say analytics has given us the ability to be prophets, right? Because you can predict and you can look into the future based on numbers. Now, what Facebook is doing, what Amazon is doing, what Google is doing, and if you look at it, these are the organizations which are using the data of the people. They're collecting the data as much as possible, and they're using that data to help you in your marketing. If you're going to do your predictive analytics, or you're going to target your audience on Facebook, how are you doing it? You are doing it simply because Facebook has the data from the people about the people and about whatever they are doing, right? So that's basically how this whole thing works. So the first, when you look at analysis, you are looking into the past, right? I have data, I have information of the past, and I'm looking at that data and that information. And when I look at that information, I'm simply taking some insights from there to say, okay, from the people who have come to my Facebook page, 20 are males and 15 are females, right? Of those, these ones liked what I posted and this one did not like what I posted. You are simply looking and say, okay, I posted this video and there was engagement, and this one there was no engagement. You are simply looking at that information. That's analysis. But analytics, you are now saying, okay, when I post this is what I got. So from that, if I post a video again, chances are I'm going to get a better engagement as compared to posting just text. Right? I hope you're getting what I'm saying. Now, I think those who are on Facebook, you realize that there is a period where pages started not to give you results. Right? There's a period where pages would give you very good results in terms of engagement if you don't pay. But there's a period where they just change the algorithm. That's what analysis is about. Where you're saying, but I've been seeing that there was engagement when I post on pages, but all of a sudden there's nothing like that. Look at LinkedIn, for example. What's happening on LinkedIn? LinkedIn is giving you very good organic traffic, right? You post something on LinkedIn, if it's interesting, if it's very factual and it's very good, professional content, you're going to get very good engagement. I do a lot of polls on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and I get very good responses, right? Very good numbers. And you actually see some senior people coming to your inbox. I was actually laughing this, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday with someone. I got some inboxes from 2 vice chancellors from Nigerian universities. So I was questioning, are these real universities or real vice chancellors? But I got some inboxes, they were inboxing me, they wanted to check 1 or 2 things with me, and like maybe my profile was too good, I don't know, but that's what I got. But what I'm saying is there's so much engagement which you are getting from there. But maybe, let's say maybe 2 years from now it changes. Analysis will help you with that. But analytics is you are looking into the future. So, okay, I've seen these are the results that I've received from the past. So what am I going to do? How am I going to change my way of posting? How am I going to change which platforms I'm going to use? That's analytics now, which is guiding you into the future. Maybe let me put it in a different way. We have what we call the 4 types of analytics, or we call the analytics maturity model, right, in analytics. This will help you to understand how to use analytics as well. Whether you don't have to be deep into understanding these things, but just have this in your mind. So the first is what we normally know as analysis, which is called descriptive analytics. Descriptive analytics. So when you talk of descriptive analytics, don't think about it as technical. I'm not going to go technical on this. I'll be light. I would like, because I know some of the technical terms might challenge some people. But the first is descriptive analytics, right? When you talk of descriptive analytics, you are simply describing what really happened using the numbers. So you go on your Google Analytics, you collect that data, that information that you collect from your Google Analytics. You go on your Facebook Analytics, you go on your Twitter, on your whichever platform you're using, right? You go and you collect the data and the information that you're getting from there. That is descriptive analytics, right? You are simply describing what happened. That's the question that you're asking. What happened? So many people came to my page. These people, the bounce rate was this, and those are the numbers that you're simply getting, right? The people who visited my website, they're coming from this country, their gender and everything. That's descriptive analytics. You are simply describing your data, right? You are simply describing what's happening on your channels and everything. So that's the first thing. The second level is what is called diagnostic analytics. Right. Now, when you move to diagnostic analytics, I want you as an entrepreneur to take note of this, that you then need to go deeper than just understanding the numbers that you have. But with diagnostic, you are now asking the question, why did this happen? I posted a post on Facebook, right? I'll give you a very good example. I did a poll the other time. I did it on Twitter and I did it on LinkedIn. On Twitter, I think I got 15 responses. 15 responses. On LinkedIn, I got over 100 responses, right? So automatically, I need to sit down and say, okay, if I'm going to do diagnostic analytics, I'm saying the question is, why is it that I have better engagement on LinkedIn versus on Twitter, right? That's what I'm simply asking. So that's what diagnostic analytics is about. You are simply asking the question why certain things are happening, right? You post content, or you have your for example, you have your e-commerce platform, right? But the sales are not going up. Why is it that you're not getting your very good numbers on your Facebook platform? You have very good numbers on your Facebook, but there is something that is lacking. You are not getting the money out of it, right? I think she spoke about the person who was not ready to make a payment. Maybe the problem could be your payment platform or the route to the payment. I think in marketing these days, people are talking about the customer experience. In customer experience, you're looking at the whole customer journey, right? To say, okay, from the point that a customer is interacting with my platforms, what is happening at each level, right? What is happening at each level of the customer journey? So it might be on social media, they are happy, they are pleased, everything is well. They go to the next level on your website, they are happy and they are pleased and they are well. But when it comes to the payment, there is a gap. right? So people will, you take the people to a certain level, but when you get to the point of making the sale, that's where you are failing. So that's where you need diagnostic analytics, where you are making a diagnosis of what is the problem within your system. Why is this happening? Why are you making a profit, or why are you not making a profit? Why are you getting sales, and why are you not getting sales? So that are the questions that you are asking yourself. Then the third, after that, you have what is called predictive analytics, right? Now, predictive analytics, what you are simply doing now is you are now looking into the future based on the historical data, right? For those who did statistics or math, you understand the issue of regression, right? What you are simply saying, or let me use a very good example that people have used here in Zim, right? We have been told that every 01 or 02 year, every 1 or 2 year, every year which ends with a 0, 1 or 2, there should be a drought in Zimbabwe, right? This is what is coming from history. It's historical data, right? Because we've seen it in 1970, 70, 71 or 72, there was a drought. 80, 81, 82, there was a drought. 1991, 92, there was a drought. 2000, 2001, 2002, one of those 3 years there was a drought. 2010, 2011, 2012, there was a drought. So expecting from that historical information, there can be an expectation that this year, or 2020 there was no drought, right? 2021 there was no drought. So chances are high that this year there might be a drought, right? So that's predictive analytics, where you are now looking into the future based on previous data. So what are you saying? You're saying, okay, I've posted this content, I've done this interaction with these customers, and these are the kind of people who responded. So when the next time I do the same post, when the next time I send the same type of content, I'm supposed also to get the same responses. Right? If I want to do another poll, right, I will know that if I'm going to go on Twitter, chances are, if I do very well, I'll go to 20. Right? Unless if I then put money to push it, right? But if it's organic, I'm going to go maybe to around 20. So what do I do? Should I go to Twitter for that kind of content? Maybe no. I would rather go to, that's predictive analytics. I'm using previous data that I already have. So what I'm saying is, as an entrepreneur, it's very important for you to collect your data, right? Data from your Google Analytics, data from your all other platforms. Collect that data, analyze it from just the analysis that you get from the. Get an analysis and a picture of who are the people who are within your audience and the like, and then that data is going to help you in terms of making some of these decisions, right? Then the last one is what we then call prescriptive analytics, right? After predictive, we then prescribe. Now prescriptive, we are now looking at the corrections that we can then make to get or to have better results. So instead of just predicting to say, okay, we are going to have a drought this coming year, right? What can we do to deal with the drought issue, right? Instead of saying, okay, in the next 5 years, if we are going to put this money into our campaign, we will still make a loss, because that is what has always been happening. What do? We still look at what other solutions are we able to do. So if we see that this platform is not working for me, right? I've seen it, I've tried it 5 times, I've tried it 5 times, and it's not been giving me the results. What do? The next thing that I do is, let me make some changes. That's what we call optimization. You are now optimizing your channels based on the data that you have received, based on the analytics, based on the insights that you have received in the past. So basically, that's what you look at, and that's what you. So this was just a simple lesson on analytics and what you need to understand in terms of analytics. Maybe let me just give you 2-3 points on how you can then target your right audience online. How you can then target your right audience online based on analytics and based on the data that you have collected. You now have. So the first thing that you obviously want to do is you start with your current customers. You start with your current audience. Who are part of your current audience? Understand them. Have an understanding of who they are. Go into analytics and get the different segmentation ways that you can then look at to understand them. Understand them from the gender point of view, understand them from even generally from the demographic point of view, understand them from their behavior, right? What kind of people are they, geographic information about them. Let's say I realize that on my platforms, the people who are frequenting my platform are from South Africa or are from the UK. I can then look at that. That's where I'm starting from, and I will build from that, right? What it means is when you have seen the people that you have and the audience that you already have within, you can then build on that audience, right? Find ways of interacting better with that audience. Because if you were not deliberate dealing with people from South Africa, yet they are the majority, why not then go deliberate on South Africans and give them language that connects better with them, give them content that connects better with them, and it can work for you, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing is think of benefits and not features, right? Don't worry much about, yes, the features of your product are very good, but think about the benefits that the customer will receive. Why? Because people connect more on a emotional level, right? But benefits are more on the logical level, right? So when you give people the benefits, they feel the emotional connection to whatever product you're giving. Instead of giving them the features that we have to say, okay, my phone has 5G and it's that. What is 5G meaning to the person who is going to buy the product, right? So when you're putting your content, just make sure you also put the idea of the emotional connection that you have in that. Then collect demographic data on your target audience. Send out customer surveys. It's also important to understand the people. Look at the trends in the online customer feedback. Also look at the feedback that you're getting from your online customers, right? That is where you are starting from. Get that feedback and understand that feedback and build on that feedback, and it will help you very much. Let me conclude from that angle. So basically what I want you to understand is you're doing your content, developing your content and understanding your numbers. Getting to understand your numbers will help you to understand the emotion that is connecting you with your audience, right? What emotions, what are they liking? What they like on social media is what is connecting with them emotionally, right? I think there's a verse in the Bible which says, from the abundance of their heart, the mouth speaks. What people know, how people normally interpret it is from the abundance of the mind, but it says from the abundance of the heart. It's more of the emotion that makes people think. People think emotionally, not logically. Thank you.